Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, Square Enix's E3 2021 presentation has concluded, and I'm going to try to keep this one very brief because I don't really feel like talking a bunch about this because there really wasn't much there. I mean, I'm just be blunt with you guys. This was pretty mid. This was probably on a lower level. Like if I had to score it, I give it a D. It's like almost where Ubisoft was at, but kind of I would say it was kind of below Ubisoft's presentation. Well, then again, this had at least two things because I'm trying to think. Because I think I would say this one is kind of above Ubisoft actually for me personally, just because it had two things that could turn out to be pretty good. They started off strong with the Guardians of the Galaxy reveal. This game has been rumored for a while, and I believe it also leaked a while ago. And this Guardians of the Galaxy game is from Eidos Montreal, the guys that did the Deus Ex games. I love that developer. I love those games. The Guardians game, so they showed gameplay and like a story trailer and everything. It's going to be coming out in October 2021. The thing that surprised me is that you're only playing as Star Lord, which is really surprising. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like, what? You're only playing as Star Lord. And I'm of two minds about this. On the one hand, this could be a good thing because one of the things that I hear a lot of people say, like when it came to the Avengers game, a lot of people were thinking, okay, how are they gonna do this with you having to play as Iron Man and then Captain America and then like all these different characters? It would be different play styles. It would probably just be too much on the developers. So on the one hand, they don't really have to worry about making all these different type of play styles. But on the other hand, it's just Peter Quill. It's just Star Lord that you get to play as. So the gameplay is going to be kind of limited to like using guns and kind of like brief melee. You would think. And as far as what I saw in the gameplay, man, we're gonna talk about that gameplay in a second. But I'm glad that this turns out to be a it turned out to be a single player focused game and not a games as a service type of game, not a live service type of game like the Avengers game. It was rumored a while ago that this might be a games as a service, so I'm glad to know that this is a single player game, and I kind of just want to support it for a number of reasons. One of which being that it's a single player game, so that these developers know that yeah, we want more single player games rather than stuff like the Avengers. But then another reason why I might get this game, even though I think that the gameplay kind of looked a little rough. Like I don't know if y'all could tell, there was moments in there where like I believe it was like a frame rate drop and just the game wasn't really running too good. But we'll have to, I'll reserve my judgment until the whole game comes out, until I get my hands on the game, obviously, until we see reviews. But honestly, like I said, the frame rate drop, that dip in frame rate, I definitely noticed that. And the graphics didn't look too impressive. The thing that I like about this though is that just like with Deus Ex, where you could like make decisions, and I think that's something that Eidos Montreal is really good at. You could do that in this game, and that seems very interesting to me. The fact that you can make story decisions, and of course they say just like, and a lot of people hate to see developers say this nowadays because sometimes it doesn't end up being true. They say that your decisions, or at least some of your decisions, will actually matter. Some of your decisions will matter, and we'll have to see, obviously, whether that's going to be, whether that's going to turn out to be true or not. But I do like the idea of being able to make different story decisions and have that story kind of change depending on the decisions that you make. So I like that sort of element of the game. And another thing that makes me want this game, the dialogue throughout the story trailer and just everything we saw, this really seemed authentic to what the Guardians of the Galaxy is. And I like that they said that they're not trying to replicate the comics or the films, that they're just trying to be their own thing. And if I didn't say this before, the game will be coming out October 26th, 2021. Like I said, I might get this. It seems interesting, and if I'm being honest, I think this is gonna be at best a 7 out of 10 type of game. It just what it looks like. At worst, maybe I'll get a 6 out of 10, but we'll see. But other than the Guardians, so after the Guardians, that's where they kind of lost me a bit. So they got the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, Secret of Mana that's coming out June 24th. They did a lot of mobile games, a lot of like brief mobile game trailers. A lot of those felt like Twitter announcements. You didn't really need to add that to the presentation, but it was kind of just like padding, really. After the Secret of Mana, they showed Avengers. They showed new content for the Avengers. I don't know who else is still playing that, but basically they're gonna be adding new stuff in there. Randomized, replayable boss fights, and then they showed the Black Panther War for Wakanda. That story expansion. They showed a trailer for that. They didn't show like straight up gameplay, but they showed a story trailer for that. And obviously, that was supposed to come out a lot earlier, but with Chadwick Boseman, with him dying, they had to like push it back. So I don't really blame the development on that. I don't really blame the developers for being late on that. Then after the Black Panther expansion trailer, they showed a bunch of brief trailers for like Hitman and well, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was kind of talking about briefly. They showed a lot of mobile, like a lot of mobile game trailers, a lot of little short, brief trailers that I kind of felt like they could have just say that for Twitter. But other than that, the show Babylon Fall. This is the game from Platinum Games. I'm gonna be honest, that joint looks super mid. That gameplay was looking, man, that joint looked trash. Life is Strange. So they showed this joint for way too long. I stepped away for a brief time, came back. They still showing it. So Life is Strange. I ain't gonna even spend any time really talking about that. Stranger in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. This is the Final Fantasy game by Team Ninja that was rumored, and of course they announced the demo. Now in that rumor, they said something about, I believe they said something about it being a PlayStation exclusive, and it's not a PlayStation exclusive. So thankfully, everybody can get it whether you're on Xbox or PlayStation. And what they showed, it looked all right. I mean, we'll have to see, actual, a lot more gameplay, later down the line. And of course, we're getting that demo that's coming first to PlayStation 5, so we'll get to play and kind of, experience it for ourselves pretty soon. And then they closed off, so the way they closed this off, they closed it off with a montage of games that we already knew about. So overall, I thought that it was pretty mid. Like I said, probably like a step above Ubisoft in my opinion, even though they didn't really show a lot, but they showed at least two things that I could see myself at least playing, just for me personally. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on this whole Square Enix presentation. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what you guys thought about the Square Enix presentation. Like the video, subscribe, and all that, and I'll see you guys next time. This has been Fear No Hate. I'm out of here. Peace.